legends, welcome to episode 3. We are down here, it is 7 a.m. at the East River Track in Manhattan. It's a chillier morning. It's the first kind of exposure to what will be winter in a few weeks. So we're gonna get warmed up by doing absolute strength today. Essentially we've got intervals around the track. I'm here to build my absolute speed. Okay, let's do it. Training with Hunter, he's one of the best training partners for me. He's got the right balance of humor to intensity, and that's my type of personality that I work well with. Obviously, he's a 3-time Hyrox world champion. So I also see when he's moving, that's my target. Fully well know where I currently stand, and I am competing with myself, but there's nothing better having a physical being that you are chasing and looking at and trying to stick with.
Pacing is more important than intensity.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get good right head. My feet are just like kind of screwing into the ground. Oh!
So is that 5 or 6?
That was 6.
That was 6. You got 4 left. Yeah. So essentially we set out to do first 5 at 128, second 5 at 123, and so far worst time is at 119. That's what happens when Hunter fucking rocks up.
Speed demons, baby. What can we say? We're fabulous.
Fucking happy with that, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. We're working in absolutes where I'm trying to find my weakness and identify it and improve on it. It's all about intentionality. And so today was absolutes. Now today's gonna be threshold.
Oh, dude, that was a good workout.
How do you feel on that?
I mean, like,
you haven't done any sprint work at all.
I mean, like, it's interesting. Like, the fitness is there, but I feel like I'm on drunk legs. Like, it takes a while to have that efficiency of just cadence and performance.
I think what's interesting though is like everyone, we look at Hunter and obviously he's the elite, right? So it's a really good perspective because your block right now is pretty much being like getting big and strong, right?
Strong as I can.
So he hasn't been doing much engine work. You haven't been doing really any speed work. And so for you, like even you feel when you're pushing yourself at relatively your absolutes, you're still gonna have the same symptoms we all have. It's just relative to you, so.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, it's just one of these kind of things where it's like, you know, you gotta, if you're really focusing on training, you do what's called periodization. And it's like, there's base miles, there's tempo miles, and there's speed miles. Like this is already speed work. And I think a lot of people romanticize YouTube. It's something cool to be inspired by, but you have to be smart. You have to have a plan. Like he has a coach, he has a plan. You guys should probably have a coach and have a plan. And yeah, we all feel pain. It's just if you're fit enough to hold on to it and just suck it up and keep on going through the pain that makes the difference of being good, great, or the best. You have to be up there. You have to burn. It's like, you know, the only way to make a sword is by putting it in the fire. It's very different than if you look at these guys, they're track and field athletes, marathon runners. They focus on one pace the whole time, where in Hyrox, it's just like shifting gears. It's like being in a rally car. It's more about the ability to have torque, have control, and have absolute speed. And that will make you a sick athlete.
Good to see you, bro. I appreciate you.
Good session, dude.
Good session.
See you guys soon.
All right, Tim, that's it for this morning's track workout. All about absolutes, not about threshold. We've done threshold last week. We've talked about absolutes. We'll continue to do so. Next up, I've got to talk to you about nutrition strategy. We're going to head back to the apartment, and then I'm going to head out to LA for the big launch of our exciting campaign, which I can't wait to share more about with Centr. See you back in the apartment. Tim, we've just got back from our track workout. Our body is starving. Effectively, you need to hit it with as much of the right food as possible, and timing is of the essence. So in a recent article on my newsletter, which you guys should all be subscribed to if you want to learn more about nutrition, specifically performance-based nutrition, you can hit the link in my description. I talked about how fat can slow down your digestion, so if you want to learn more about that and why you should avoid it around your workout, go subscribe. But effectively in here, we got a banana, blueberries, we got some milk, protein, and not much fat of anything else. In a bit, in another hour or so, I'll have my first main big meal, and it's going to be whole foods. Bonus points if you get a moustache. All right, so we have had our smoothie. It's now time for our first whole food meal of the day. Now, because we were able to get in our proteins and carbs, I'm not as concerned about the fat intake for one, but 2, needing to be so quick and getting the food in, because we already have. 1.5 cups of oats equals 100 grams of carbohydrates. So, if you're someone who's worked out your macronutrients, whether it be anywhere from 200 up to like me to 380 grams of carbs per day, it's a great way to consider how you should look at each major form of starch you're consuming. So if you haven't had the Powerball before, or haven't seen it before, it's the first time joining us, you need to make this. This is something I make every single day. And you can get the recipe by subscribing to that newsletter I talked about earlier. It's the first thing that comes, it's a welcome note, you get the recipe. We had our smoothie, we had about 60 grams of carbs, we had about 40 grams of protein. I'm now making my next meal, which is whole foods. This will be a slower digestive meal. It's gonna include more fat. So I'm looking at probably taking on an additional 90 grams of carbohydrates and around my first 20 to 25 grams of fat, to be honest, and additionally about 30 to 35 grams of protein. As I said earlier, because I had my proteins and carbs, I'm not as concerned about avoiding fat now because I've already got some nutrition into my system. I'm also gonna add 3 eggs because that's how much I'm eating these days. So it depends how hungry I am. I've already had my shake. Sometimes I do a slice of toast with 3 eggs too. But these days I'm doing Powerball shake and 3 eggs. Around fasting, a lot of people like to fast before they actually work out, which is great, but you need to get something into your system relatively quickly after you've done that workout. Otherwise, your body's not really got anything around to support the work you have just done. A couple of things about protein. How much should you have throughout the day? Well, it really depends on your activity. Super active, doing a lot of strength work, 2 grams for every kilo of body weight, I would say, is a good way to look at it. Some people are even higher than that, they're pretty extreme. But it's also important to understand that your body can't really filter through more than 30 to 35 grams at a time. So when you're breaking down your meals, you should be aiming between 30 to 40 grams per meal. That's a great way to go about it. The biggest secret I'm about to tell you about nutrition, specifically for performance, it's not about how much you take on, it's about how much your body absorbs. So if you're having, 160 grams of protein every day thinking you're hitting your mark, reality is if you're not having enough dietary fiber which support absorbing those nutritional needs, you're not necessarily going to be getting 160 grams anyway. It's so important. It's not about how much you take on, it's about how much you absorb. And dietary fiber is the way you help your absorption. That's why I say you gotta get fiber every day. Call this the Joey special right here. Joey Mitchell. Not a chef, he's a pilot, but look what he can do. He calls that the secret ingredient. Hey!
Follow Joey Show on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Chef, check this out, bro. I'm calling you because I'm doing the secret ingredient.
Dude, you're finally on it.
Yo, bro, just hit me up for a second. So, I've got the guys who talk about nutrition for Hyrox, and I always say minimize your, I always say this, minimize your fat around your workouts. But how much protein are you having in your day right now? Watch this.
180 to 220.
180 to 220. How much dietary fiber are you having a day right now?
I have no idea.
Welcome to the school of Churchill, bro. I'm about to send you to university, dude. Subscribe. Adding in our fat along with a little extra protein as well. Also, peanuts are really good for promoting testosterone release. Chia seeds for protein here with our hemp seeds. Yeah. So 3 eggs. We've got our cow bowl. Happy days. Plenty of water too.
Hey, how you doing?
We are off to the Drew Barrymore Show. So this is part of my day. It's pretty, diverse. Sometimes some sort of media event, maybe a TV segment, some sort of filming piece. Dan? No, different one? Maybe. That's fun. Atta boy, here we go. After you, big dog. How you doing?
I'm ready.
Thanks, brother. So we have the New York City Marathon coming up, and every year I'm fortunate to run as the captain of the City Harvest Marathon team. We have 100 runners, and this is always a privilege to me, and part of that privilege comes with the ability to promote the work of City Harvest, and one of those shows we always get to go on is Drew Barrymore. So today we're going in to see Drew to talk about the feats and the goals of running the marathon on behalf of City Harvest. If you didn't know who City Harvest is, they're an organisation that help raise awareness that 1 in 5 New Yorkers do not know where their next meal is coming from, and 40% of food in the city alone goes to waste. So what City Harvest does is finds ways to collect that food and provides it to those in need. Every part of the dollar that we raise goes towards that initiative. And that's why every year I love running for City Harvest at the New York City Marathon. We did it!
Mate, they're just getting boxier. Every time I come, they get boxier. Don't camera this, mate. What are you doing?
Today's workout team is lower body strength. 5x5. I don't believe I can recall the last time I've ever done so many 5x5 efforts in the gym. I've gone from doing hypertrophy, 10 to 12 reps, down to 5x5, and it is so exciting to see progression after 3 to 4 weeks in this training block for Hyrox. You know, I said in episode 1 to find your weakness, and I've identified to you guys that strength and top speed is that. And the numbers I'm now hitting as a squat to what I was, 3 to 4 weeks ago is just incredible. To give you a perspective, like I had to regress my squat. My mobility was crap. My squat technique was, I wouldn't say terrible, but I knew it was going to plateau because of my inability to perform it correctly. So now we are, 4 weeks later, and I've gone from doing having to regress to 185 for a few reps to just get the technique right, to now repping out 245 for 5 reps. All right, team, we've had a day. Track workout, then we came back, ate some food, went off to do Drew, and then back from Drew, I did my PM strength session, and now we're back here for dinner after doing a little quick cold plunge. So as I'm preparing dinner, I've actually got these broth situations. These are 10 grams of protein in each one, full of collagen, full of fantastic stuff. So throughout the day, I also had some lunch. I actually had a sweet green bowl. Their protein plates are phenomenal because they're packed full of both protein and carbs. So that's what I've been, essentially smashing right now. I had the honey chicken, unbelievable, which I'll put the macros up there for. But main thing was just to recap what we've eaten today. We've obviously had my electrolyte and sodium complex and G1M Sport. All right, so we had that. Along with that, came back, first thing we had was a shake. Obviously, we did not have fat. We did protein, carbs. Then we had our Whole Foods, which is the protein power bowl, along with the actual 3 eggs. Then we've gone off, done Drew. We also had sweet green that point of time. Come back, we're having a broth, and then also a smash dinner and a dessert situation as well. So, rolling. Meanwhile, just got some long grain rice. Again, you want to make sure you're having nothing going to slow down the digestion of your macronutrients, particularly from the fat. So we're going to do a simple miso salmon little recipe tonight. Main thing here is to get a good little side amount of veggies, fiber. So we've got a decent amount of protein here. So I can make this it's a great tray bake situation where you put the marinade on top and put it in the oven. That as well, I got sweet green today as a perfect example. You should be aiming around that 30 grams of protein per meal. And if you're, in the performance mindset, if you're doing Hyrox, you probably want 70 to 80 grams of carbs per meal as well at moderate scale. So if you're someone who's trying to lose weight, less than that. If you're trying to burn a lot of carbs like I do, go higher than that like I am. So 100 grams. So biggest thing from today though is to not have fat around immediately after or before your workout, to aim for the upper echelon of 2 grams of protein per serve, to always make sure you're hitting 34 grams of fiber every single day. And then yeah, know your numbers, biggest one ever. If you need some help on that to understand where your calories are at for the day and break down your macros, let me know. You can also subscribe to the newsletter. I'm off to LA tomorrow for an awesome situation with Centr. So if you guys may know, I am a partner in Centr. It is a health and wellness brand that initially started with Chris Hemsworth as the founder. It was a digital piece that turned into a complete equipment and holistic wellness brand. And a few months ago, I got asked to not only be the face of the campaign, but have my team be involved in the creative of the launch of a whole new product. So come along with me now. At the end, I'll show the execution of the whole piece. But I wanted to show, because I know you guys support me in everything that I do, and this one's super proudly close to my heart, because it was a huge goal for us to be able to get involved with this at such a high level. So if you ever want to learn more about what I do outside of just the athlete stuff, please let me know in the comments down below. But for now, let's head out to LA. It takes a dream, an audacious goal. It takes a team of experts with a shared passion, a commitment to excellence, trial, error, the hardest work you've ever put in. And when it all comes together, it's legendary.